Welcome, welcome. Today we're going to go over the tried and true way to make money in real estate. After doing thousands of transactions, we figured out one way to make sure you make money. And that is get rid of the emotions and invest by the numbers. If you're new to my channel, I'm Mike Bond, and I'm here to make sure you understand and get the knowledge to become one of the top real estate investors. To do that, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe so you can watch other videos just like this one. Our research has shown that people who don't make it in real estate investing, they don't invest by the numbers. This is a numbers and profit game. And people who don't win, they go by emotions, they go by greed, by delusion, by getting just too caught up in a deal. Once you know that, in investing by the numbers, investing in real estate is really easy and very profitable. Today we're going to go over some of those numbers that you need to know. Remember, investing by the numbers is going to make you profits. What are the numbers we're talking about? We're talking about how you purchase, how you rehab, and how you sell the property. So we're going to go through those numbers. This is simple, but it's never easy. We look at this as like analytics for sports. Teams out there who are just going by the numbers, they're winning the Super Bowls, they're winning the championships. That's what we want you to do here too, is win at real estate. Let's jump into an example. Grab a pen, paper, so you can do this too. Maybe rewatch this, because this is very important that you know your numbers and you stick to your numbers. First of all, let's just look at an example of purchasing, rehabbing a flip. And we're going to say we have a ARV on a property of $300,000. So when we're done with the property, that's what we're expecting it to sell for, $300,000. When we go into this, before we even buy it, we have to know certain numbers. So if we know the numbers that is going to make us money, then we just need to stick with them. And this is what happens, and we're going to go through what that looks like and how people slip and stop making money in real estate and actually get out. Probably 70 to 75% of the people we help start get out, and all of it's because of emotions, greed, helping people a little too much, all these different things that make them lose money, get frustrated, and exit real estate. In our case, we're going to use 60% for the purchase. On the rehab, we're going to use 12.5%. So that's going to equal 72.5%. Maybe your purchase is 62, then this has to come down to 10. What we're talking about here is finding your numbers, sticking to them, because when we go over to the other side, we're going to see where people lose the money. Realtor fees. We're going to look at a number, a percent, that sticks around 4.5%. We want to work with realtors who help us out because we give them a lot of deals, and part of that is keeping their price down. That comes to money too. We want to keep this on a 4 to 5 month at maybe 5%. Total all in, and then miscellaneous, we're going to keep at 3%. So if we look at this, what does that look like for the numbers, and what does it look like for what's left in our pocket? Typically, we're looking at a maximum of 85% for all the costs. So this adds up to 85% of the after repair value, or what you're going to sell the property for. And what that does is it leaves you at least 15% for profit. That's what you get to keep. That's your money. So let's look at this with real numbers. So if we're at 60% of 300,000 equals 180,000 on a purchase. We want to stay right there at 180,000. We want to keep within our numbers. Now in rehab, if it's 12.75% of 300, you're talking about $37,500 of the rehab. So now these two numbers, like I said before, it might be a little higher here, so this has to be a little lower, or a little higher here, and then this has to be lower. Those two things work together. These things should just pretty much stay the same. 4.5% for the realtor fees is $13,500 for the realtor fees. 5% of the 300 for the money, $15,000. And 3% for miscellaneous. Miscellaneous is your closings. That's your insurance. Anything else that may pop up, we just put it down here in the miscellaneous, which is 9K. When we add all these up, we're looking at a profit now of 15% of $300,000. These add up to 85. We have now a profit of $45,000 here. Now, if you do 3 of those a year, now you're talking, $135,000 in profit in a year. Now, this is where it goes wrong. We see this weekly with people who get into it, let their emotions take over, and then their profits are gone. So instead of purchasing it for 60%, someone gets a little bit ahead of the game. They just want a deal. They want to make sure they get in the game, and maybe they're going to pay 63%. Doesn't seem that big a deal, but it's 3%, remember, of your ARV. So now the 3% is gone from part of their profits. They run over budgets. Maybe they pay a little bit more. Maybe they do a little bit too much. And they're like, hey, we're fine at 15%. It's just, 2.5% over where we're at now. And then on the realtors, they like their realtor. It's a friend. They want to make sure they make money. So they say, okay, we're going to make sure we pay you full price, the 6%. And now as you see, everything's starting to creep up. This is where we're stopping to invest on numbers, and we're starting to look and get into emotions on paying too much, maybe getting a little too tied to the property and what you're going to put into it, and maybe that relationship with the realtor. All the things are adding up, and you're going to see what happens to the profits. Now, if they're not taking care of their credit or they're not shopping around, what's going to happen is they're going to pay at least probably 2% more on their money for those 4 to 6 months. And then miscellaneous, maybe they just don't shop around, look around, and we're going to say they go up to 5% on that. So now what happens? We add up all these numbers, and instead of being into a property at 85%, we have people whose expenses have all dwindled away because they just lost a little bit here. They lost a little bit here. They're not watching their numbers. They're getting emotional when they buy. They're getting emotional when they're working with realtors and the money people. When you invest with emotions instead of by the numbers, what happens? Now you have a 4% profit margin if you're lucky. So on a $300,000 property, 4%, you're talking $12,000 on a flip. Work hard, do 3 flips, make $36,000. That's frustrating. That's why people get out. You don't make enough money on these flips when you're investing by emotions. This person over here who sticks to their numbers, treats it like a business, looks for the profits, they're doing $45,000. So they do 3 of them, they're making $135,000. That makes sense. Too many people end up over here in the emotional bucket. And they do 3 of these, they make $36,000. They're not even making ends meet. Now this is real life. This is what's happening out there, and it's happening to too many people. We're putting this whole series together about investing by the numbers. Not only how you buy stuff, how you keep it there, but there's credit, there's your loans and your return on credit. All those things are all based on investing by the numbers. If you invest by the numbers, you're going to make profit. When you bring too much emotion into this business, you're really just going to get frustrated. You're going to get out of the business, and more than likely, you're going to be broke. We have a free gift for you, but before we get to that, if you enjoyed this video, check out these videos. Now for that free gift, down below we have a deal analyzer. You can put in your numbers, make sure you stay on profit, make sure you make money in real estate investing. If you want to make more money in your real estate deals, stick around, and we'll see you on the next video.